Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us today. My name is Kyle Gaines. I work for St. Charles County Ambulance District, and we are so excited to be partnering with the Library District and with State Farm Insurance to talk a little bit tonight about Halloween safety. Halloween safety is a topic that's very near and dear to our hearts. We've been doing this now for about 10 years and always with the support of our generous partners that we've got tonight. And we thank you so much for joining us. As it relates to Halloween safety, we've got 5 things we want to talk about this evening. They're pretty simple tips, but they can go a long way in regard to keeping you and your kiddos safe this Halloween night. The first of those is we want to talk a little bit about costumes. The first topic as it relates to that is costume length. We see all the time kids that have got costumes, princess dresses and tails and costumes that dangle quite a bit in front of the feet, particularly when we're going up and down stairs. And those create quite a trip and fall hazard. So prior to Halloween night, what I would love for you guys to do is do a dress rehearsal with your costume. Try it on. Make sure that the length of that costume doesn't hit too much below your knees. That's really the ideal length for a costume, so that you're safely able to go up and down porch steps without tripping and falling. Because I think we can all agree if you trip and fall and have to go home and don't get to collect much candy, that doesn't make for a very fun night. So check that costume length and maybe roll up or pin up your costume if needed. The next thing as it relates to costumes is masks. If you're going as Captain America or a Ninja Turtle or other costumes that involve a mask, we want to make sure that the eye holes are nice and wide. On some masks that they sell, the eye holes are teeny tiny, and it makes it really hard to see much beyond what's straight in front of you. You also want to be able to see what's called your peripheral vision. When I say peripheral, I mean your vision off to either side. If whenever you hold your hands up you can't see them in your mask, that's a problem, and the eye holes need to be widened out a little bit. Hand the mask to mom and dad and let them widen it out with a pair of scissors to make sure that you can see nice and clearly not only what's in front of you but also what's on the side. The next thing we wanted to talk about tonight is making sure that we are crossing the street safely. Obviously, we want to make sure we hold mom and dad's hand whenever we cross the street, but we also want to do so at a crosswalk if possible, and also underneath a street light if we possibly can. That way, if there's any cars in the roadway, they can absolutely see you trying to safely cross the street. We never, ever want to cross the street stepping out from between 2 parked cars, because that can make things really difficult for those who are driving on the roadway to see you stepping out, particularly if your costume is a darker color. If you're going as a witch or as Black Panther or something like that, it's a little bit harder to see you. And we'll talk a little bit more about costume visibility here in just a second. Another thing I wanted to talk about with you guys is candy. I know that everybody's excited to get those Reese's Peanut Butter Cups and those Skittles and all those types of things on Halloween night. But we want to make sure we wait until we get home to open up anything. We don't want to get into our candy while we're walking around. Wait until mom and dad have a chance to check the bag, make sure everything looks okay, make sure everything is all sealed up and it's nothing that could make you sick. Now, the last thing I wanted to talk about is visibility. Now, I'm sure all of you have watched a superhero movie or two that has involved a character that has the ability to become invisible, where nobody can see them. We want you to be exactly the opposite of that on Halloween night. We want you to be visible to everybody. We need the cars on the roadway to be able to see you, as well as the other passengers. One great way that you can do that is by carrying a flashlight with you, so that everybody can see that light beam on the ground. Another way that you can make yourself visible to drivers and other pedestrians is to use one of these. This is one of our Halloween safety glow bracelets that all of our library branches have available, as well as all of the ambulance stations in the community. We've got these available for free, thanks to our generous support of our friends at State Farm. We've got all kinds of colors available. See, these are the 2-tone colors. If you give me just 1 second here, I'll turn out the lights in my truck and you can really see how nice and bright that glows. We would love for every trick-or-treater in our community to have one of those on your wrist while you're out trick-or-treating on October 31st. It's going to keep you nice and visible to all of the drivers, all the other passengers that are out on the roadway. So please have a happy and safe Halloween. We would love to see you out and about on October 31st. Enjoy yourselves, have a great time, and be safe. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Hi there, my name's Greg Maddock. I'm a battalion chief with St. Charles County Ambulance District. Sorry we couldn't be here with you guys and show you the ambulance in person. However, with COVID, we will do a video of the tour of the ambulance. As you can see, it's a mini emergency room on wheels. Everything we do back here, pretty much we can do in an emergency room. We have our heart monitor right here. What this does is it allows me to look at the electrical activity of your heart. So we have a pumping activity and electrical activity. So this allows me to put stickers on your arms and your legs, and I can actually see the rhythm of your heart. Also, I can see how much oxygen's in your blood, how much carbon dioxide you're breathing out. So it monitors your breathing. So this is a very, very unique device that allows me to look at a lot when someone's having a heart attack, chest pain, having breathing difficulty, something like that. We have our red bag. We bring this in every house, on every call. Inside, we have all of our life-saving medications, IV start kits, things to help breathe for patients. And if someone's having difficulty breathing, we will hook up our oxygen tank that we store in the cabinet, and we have devices that will deliver the oxygen to. This is our stretcher. This is where you would sit if you were a patient, and it does pull out, and we'll pull that out in a few minutes to show you how that maneuvers in tight spaces and such. Just kind of throughout the ambulance, we have a bunch of compartments that have bandages, more medications, IVs to give shots if we need to give fluids. I know we don't like to give shots, but sometimes they are necessary to make sure people stay healthy and make sure to help save lives. And there is through the driver's area. That's how the paramedics can talk to each other, and you can kind of see the paramedic up front can kind of help see what's going on in the back as well. This is where the paramedic is usually going to sit, on the bench seat where I'm sitting right here to tend to the patient. So as we're pulling the stretcher out, you may hear the wheels going down. That's okay. That's just us taking the stretcher out. So right here, this is where again we put our patient on. It's a comfortable bed that allows us to do our job and take care of you. Remember, 911 is the emergency number to call during any emergency, and we want you guys to feel safe to call if there is ever an issue. Make sure you know your phone number, your home address, and what is going on. And don't be afraid to call 911. We're here to help. Whenever the paramedics, the firefighters, or the police officers show up, we're all here to help. And it's one number for all, 911. In the outside compartments, we have our protective gear that we have to wear on certain calls. So if there's a motor vehicle accident, we wear our coat, and we have pants that protect us from any glass, and we wear our helmets. We also have devices in here to extricate people out of the houses. Further down, we have more oxygen and other devices in case we have multiple patients. And then we have some devices to get into houses if we need to, and our oxygen. So as you can see, we carry a lot of equipment in kind of tight spaces, but we make it work. All right, everyone, so now we're in the front of the ambulance. It's essentially a front of a van, but we have our computer screen that tells us what's going on with the patient and where we're going. We have a bunch of switches that turn on the different lights in the back. We have our radio, so we can talk to our dispatchers and they can tell us what's going on and where to go. But other than that, it's pretty much the same as mom or dad's car, front of the car. So here's our siren area, here's our emergency lights, and we have our gloves, we have our computer, We even have our iPad that allows us to talk to the physicians if we need to. So now that we've checked all of our equipment, we're ready to go on a call. Who wants to go? Oh, and don't forget, sanitize. Remember, wash your hands when you can, but when you can't, use your sanitizer, hand sanitizer, to clean your hands, especially in today's environment. Well, that's all for our tour today. Next year, hopefully we'll see you guys in person. We're excited to get back out into the community and see all of our friends. One last thing before we go, we'll flip the lights on, but happy Halloween and be safe.
All right, as promised tonight, we have got a not too spooky story for everybody this evening also. And this is a good one that our friends at the library passed along to us to be able to share with you this evening. It is called Gustavo the Shy Ghost. And so that you all can see the pictures on this awesome book, those are going to be appearing right over here as I go through the story tonight. So without further ado, Gustavo the Shy Ghost. Gustavo was a ghost. He enjoyed doing the normal things that paranormal beings do, passing through walls, making objects fly, and glowing in the dark. But there was nothing in the world that he loved more than playing the violin. Well, almost nothing. Gustavo was secretly in love with Alma, the prettiest monster in town, but he also had a problem. You see, Gustavo was so shy that some things felt incredibly difficult to him. And the worst part of it? Making friends was terrifying. Gustavo had never dared to speak to any of the other monsters. You guys see him on the page here? Where's he at? It looks like everybody else is having... Oh, there he is. You see him up in the upper right? He tried getting close to them in many different ways. But even when he was right in front of them, they just couldn't see him. Gustavo longed to be a part of something. More than anything, he wanted to make a friend. I have to be brave. I have to let the others see me, he thought. So, he decided to send a letter, a very special one. Dear monsters, I would like to invite you to my violin concert, which will take place at the Day of the Dead party next full moon at the cemetery. I would be thrilled to see you there. Gustavo the Ghost. As the days went by, Gustavo couldn't stop thinking, what if no one shows up? What if they don't like my music? What if they don't like me? Except tonight was the night, and this time he couldn't hide. But not a soul had come. So, all alone, Gustavo did what he loved most, and the music made him happy. So happy that he glowed. Oh, how he glowed. Gustavo! We're so sorry we're late. We wanted to get you flowers, but we got lost instead. And then we heard your music. And we saw your glow. We really loved your concert. Would you like to hang out with us? From that moment on, Gustavo's life changed, and everyone discovered that even if he didn't talk much, he was the best at helping and protecting his friends. But mostly, Gustavo never stopped surprising them. And they never stopped loving him. The end. Happy Halloween, everybody. We look forward to seeing you out on the streets. We love seeing all of you in all of your costumes. We hope you have a great time making your ghost craft, your Gustavo at home. And hope you have a great evening and happy Halloween.
Hey kids, it's your friend Zach from the St. Charles County Ambulance District, and today we're going to be making Gustavo the Ghost. So first things first, we're going to need a cutout for Gustavo, some cotton balls, some scissors, some glue, and we'll need Gustavo's eyes and mouth. So we're going to start by wanting to cut out Gustavo here. Don't worry if you can't quite get it all on the lines like I can't, because every ghost is going to be unique just like you are. Once you've got your ghost cut out, we're going to go ahead and put glue all over the front and make sure you get every bit you can so that way the cotton balls can stay on. And once you've got your glue, you can start to put your cotton balls on by hand all around, or you can be like me and use some Halloween magic. And like that, you're ready to put on Gustavo's eyes and mouth. So you'll go ahead and put some glue on the back of those and stick those on top. And it's very important that once you've got these on, we're going to let it dry, and then you have your very own Gustavo the Ghost. Have a happy Halloween!